Patrick Mahomes had a QBR of 91. That scale 0 to 100 yesterday at Baltimore. So, Richard Sherman, does that mean he deserves a grade of A or even A+?
Yeah, he definitely deserves a grade of A. He played a phenomenal first half. He did enough in the second half to get his team to win. He did everything they needed. That first and second drive, they got 14 points right off the bat. He and Travis Kelce were in sync throughout the game. I mean, they just looked like they were connected telepathically.
They were.
And that's what they've done pretty much the last 6 years that Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback. And so, yes, he deserves a grade of A. His QBR really accurately described how he played, especially in the first half. And this was a very tough defense. This was the best defense in football. They got pressure on him at times. They disguised the coverage. They deserved credit because they were who they said they were. They were flying around. Every time you looked up, you saw 3, 4 defenders at the ball. You saw Patrick McQueen at the ball. You saw Roquan Smith at the ball. You saw Kyle Hamilton all over these guys. But, again, it was Patrick Mahomes making enough plays for his team to get the win. So, yes, he deserves an A grade. You see doing it with his legs, doing it with his arm. You know, he's getting the ball out when he's supposed to, even under tough circumstances.
Yeah, he deserves an A, Skip. The man's on his way to the Super Bowl for the 4th time in 5 seasons. Think about that. 4 times in 5 seasons, he's on his way to the Super Bowl. And you look at just some of the things, the difficulties in some of the plays that he was able to deliver the football on. There's a sprint right option play that was created from the Dallas Cowboys-San Francisco game many, many years ago, the Dwight Clark catch.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Because he threw it to Travis Kelce, okay, where he didn't trust the 2 guys. They was covered, and he went and threw it on the crosser to Travis Kelce. That was the same exact play. It just was in the end zone in the 49er-Dallas game. So they brought that out, and he knew, okay, boom, I'm going to get it over. Difficulty to make that throw. Not only that, like Richard said, he was doing it with his legs. The QBR is at a 91. The guy was 30 at 39, 240-something, a touchdown, no turnovers. What more do you want? And it's so critical and crucial. We talk about what did this do for Lamar's career by losing and his reputation. What did this do for Patrick Mahomes and his reputation? And who is he chasing?
Talk about it.
Yeah.
He's chasing the greatest quarterback of all times.
Yeah.
He just got closer. He just got closer to bumping Joe. He just got closer to bumping Joe Montana off to take that number 2 spot, and even closer to Tom Brady. He just got closer, and that's crazy because you think about it. Tom Brady won 7 of them. He has an opportunity now to get to 3, win 3. To win 3, and he still has another 4, but how many more years this kid got to play? He got another 10, 12 years of football left in him.
Probably does. Although Richard thinks he's going to be 2-2 after the Super Bowl, in Super Bowl.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, that's...
but either way, Skip, either way, he's in the Super Bowl again. And that's crazy. We talk about these other quarterbacks in the same breath as him for some reason, but somehow he's the only one on the other side of the coin.
I don't know who's talking about the same breath as him. He put that to bed.
It should have been dead before, but they still talk about, like, oh, Burrows is in the same, and then Lamar Jackson, and then Josh Allen, and then all these guys are in the same
Lamar's in a different category because
but he's closer because he got the
MVPs. 2 MVPs, potentially the second one coming, and Skip, he almost got there. So, you know, that conversation...
Wait a minute. How lucky was everybody in the AFC that Joe Burrow got hurt this year? Because all he did was
not lucky at all. They were 5-5 when he got hurt.
I was about to say, they wasn't very good when he was in.
Well, he was already hurt.
They were 5-5.
But he was already having a calf problem.
But Skip.
Wait, he went to Arrowhead and outplayed Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead.
Skip.
Well, he did.
What we're not going to do is turn this into Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. Because I like Joe Burrow, too. He cool. I like his Cartier glasses, his mink coats, all that. But he ain't that dude,
okay,
man.
do you remember the number he did on San Francisco at San Francisco this year?
That's all cool.
It was
But he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Clinic.
Man, ain't nobody taking Joe Burrow over no Patrick Mahomes. Skip, you crazy.
Well, I would take him.
Oh, man, come on now, Skip. You're just talking
out of sight, out of mind.
You're just talking, man.
There's a lot of decisions you would make that wouldn't be successful.
Okay, all right. So I cannot give Patrick an A for yesterday because of the second half, but I will. I'll give him a B+ because I give him an A+ for the first half because I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like that because I did not see that coming against that defense on that field at that moment. He picked them to pieces. It was a master class of Andy Reid play calling and Patrick executing said plays. And to Richard's point, it felt telepathic between Patrick and that number 87. I've just never seen anything like it. They couldn't stop him. I still fault Baltimore because you cannot go into a game and allow him to catch all 9 of his first half passes and put you in such a hole 17-7 at halftime with almost 100 yards receiving.
But he's good though, Skip. That's the thing.
Okay.
You're dealing with one of the all-time greats at the position.
I got it. And obviously Patrick has become one of the all-time greats. And that was an all-time great first half performance. But then in the second half, Baltimore's defense said, aha, we got this. We got to get back to being who we are. We got to play the Raven way. And they just shut Patrick down in the second half. He actually, going into that last clock-killing drive, he had a grand total of 32 yards passing going into that. And he had he had 36 yards passing. And he had a 32-yarder, which was the ice, the lob pass to MVS that iced the game. So, okay, so you had 36 total passing yards. You had the ball 5 times. You punted 5 times, and you scored 0 points. Well, I'll give him this. I'll give him a B- for the second half because he did not turn the football over. Because if you make one mistake against that defense in that stadium, which is it may not be Seattle, but it's up there in volume because it can split your ears because I've been there a bunch of times, and I was always shocked at how loud it got in there. If Patrick makes one mistake, if he gets strip sacked, if he throws one ball to them, which he occasionally has done in big games before, we're having a different conversation. But he protected the football the whole second half, even though he didn't do much with it. They were 3 for 9 on third down. So I think I'm being objective to say A+ in the first half, B- second half. I'll average it out to a B+ for the game. And I think that's a fair grade.
I mean, I just don't know about the second half grade because
the man is going to the Super Bowl.
He's going to the Super Bowl, but the B-, it would be different if he turned the ball over, and that's what I expected because of this vaunted Baltimore defense. They've done it all year, and they've done it to everybody.
They led the league in takeaways. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So that was the expectation. Like, hey, I expect Baltimore to find a way to get the football, whether it's a sack, forced fumble, an interception. It's what they've always done. And the fact he didn't give him, they didn't get it. That's why he gets at least a B+ for it, Skip. I mean, he didn't take the game over, but this is the #1 defense in the land in a number of categories.
Yep.
And had they lost the game, then that's a different conversation.
Yep.
Meaning, even if they didn't turn the ball over, but somehow the Ravens won the game because he did not do enough in the second half, then we could have that conversation about a B-. The fact of the matter is, it didn't matter because they was up and they were winning. And it didn't matter that they didn't put more points on the board. They came out with a W. He didn't do anything to challenge that on either side, whether it's scoring points or giving them points. He didn't do anything. He got out of there with a W. How could you punish him?
But I'm not punishing him. I'm just being objective that he didn't do much of anything in the second half, including he didn't turn the football over.
Yes, and that's
so it's what he didn't do. Okay,
that's extremely important.
Big deal.
That's a big deal.
And by the way, Lamar's team turned it over 3 times. So if you're going to lose the turnover battle 3-0, you're probably going to lose the game, and they lost it by 7 points. In large part because Zay Flowers fumbles at the goal line, or we might be having a different conversation.
Yeah. I wish
you talk about these turnovers, but even the fumble that they got from Lamar, the sack forced fumble in their own territory, that defense came up with a stop.
They did.
They got a turnover. They got to stop in that drive. They stopped them on 4th down and got the ball back and prevented points. So that even in those situations, that defense was unbelievable. But again, Patrick Mahomes overcame that defense and won the game.
He did. I give him that. So I think B+ is a great grade for him.
Yeah, I don't want to take your class.
No? I'm tough, man.
Right.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna walk past my counselor and say, no, I'm good.
Yeah, but you went to USC and I went to Vanderbilt, right?
We're not getting ready to have this conversation.
Did you go to class?
We're not even getting ready. We're not even gonna have this conversation.
Sheesh.
I'm not even gonna have
I'm
this
just
conversation.
asking.
I'm not even gonna have this conversation. I got a degree, man. I'm not even talking to
You got a degree?
I'm not even gonna talk to you because
That's
you
impressive.
now getting ready. You now getting ready to have me attack you with this disrespect.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let you in your vandy education.
I thought USC was a party school.
Your
That's
little
what they always
vandy
say.
education,
Yeah.
the SEC,
Yeah.
real smart. I know.
Yeah. Well, we're the doormat, right? We're the football doormat.
I mean, what I'm saying, Skip, is Patrick Mahomes played a great game. He executed down the stretch. He didn't do a lot in the second half, but if he had turned the ball over, we'd be having a different conversation. The grade would be different, and we may be talking about Baltimore winning with the same formula they won with all season. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes doing enough for his team to win the ball game and go to his 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. That deserves an A. Context matters.
Okay.
We may really need to, I just had a thought. We may really need to check and find out if Skip even went to Vandy, to be honest with you.
We do need a little bit of more background.
You might be like the coach that was at Notre Dame. What was his name? That said he had a master's from whatever that dude name is that was at Georgia Tech that lied in his application and said he had a master's degree. You might be that guy.
No.
I got to watch you.
Cum laude, I was there.
Yeah, okay.
Grantland Rice Scholarship, I was there.
You went to
I graduated in 4 years.
He went to Nashville, University of Nashville at Vanderbilt.
At Vanderbilt.
No. We did get to take a class or two over at Peabody.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
All right. Whatever. All right, up next, we got to get back to the other game. Did Brock Purdy inspire more confidence or concern yesterday? Richard's going to love this topic.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.